So this is my video for week 4. It was a very interesting session that I had with my students. At first I'll start off with my observing my phonics lesson, I think is what it would have been. But the students, when they first came in the morning, the teacher had a worksheet laid out for them, and on the worksheet it had words bad, dad, lad, mad, pad, and sad. And they would have to, it had the word and you would have to like write it, and then there was a picture next to it, and then when the child flipped it over, it would be like a little thing, like a little box, and each box had 3 letters in them, and they had to unscramble them. And then at the bottom it had a box, and it just said dad, a box, pad, and lad, and they had to draw those 3 words. It wasn't just my student, a lot of students didn't know what a lad was, so I thought that was interesting that they used a lad in there when I knew what it was, but still I was like, is that what they mean by lad? So it was interesting that, that was in there, and they didn't really understand that. And it looked like it was a T, so they thought it was Tad, and then they weren't really sure, so a lot of the students were very confused by that. And then, since that was a sound, they also worked on I sounds. So they sat down on the carpet, and there's this big poster board kind of thing, and it had a picture of an iguana with an eye in it, and there was also pictures of a ship, a cat, a ruler referring to an inch, and a lot of it the teacher had to kind of um, get them to say the word, and my student wasn't really paying attention during it. She doesn't seem to understand, or doesn't seem to really be focused in on any of the lessons, and I think they're kind of confusing for her. So when I sat with her, I kind of went over with it, but she still wasn't really understanding what was going on. I think that kind of has to do with her not getting what's going on, and not being able to comprehend it, so she kind of just like doesn't really pay attention to it. She does really well with rewriting the words. She does well with that, but scrambling the words and drawing the pictures, even a lot of the students didn't really understand pad, like what a pad was. They had to, like, the one picture it looks like a pillow, but I guess you could put like a pad of paper or something, but they weren't really understanding that, which I can understand. That's kind of something we don't really talk about. Like I said, my student, she doesn't really pay attention. I'm not really sure if she understands what's going on, or if she um, doesn't like being in groups. Even one-on-one, she's very distracted. While I'm trying to talk to her, I read there was an old lady who swallowed a fly to her, and she I would ask her questions, comprehension questions, like especially about like what's in the, because there's like a little cutout, and it's like what's in her belly, and she wasn't really sure. I would ask her, okay, well, what's that? And she would say fly. And then I would ask her to point to the word fly, and she kind of just like pointed to every word but fly, and then finally pointed to fly. But it was pretty interesting that she, isn't really getting this, but it doesn't seem like she's getting the help that she really needs. So hopefully I'd be able to help her more than what she is being helped with now. I think she needs a lot of extra help with, being able to understand and to do well. But yeah, I think that she is could understand, but I think she definitely needs someone sitting next to her and asking her what this is, and kind of, helping her through that. I think she would do really well with just having like one extra person just sitting next to her and like helping her through it. But then again, I also think it would be very distracting for her to have someone next to her because then she thinks that that person's going to do everything for her. So I'm not sure if she's had that before, where she's had someone sitting next to her and she or he kind of tells her what to do or how to do it. She's really struggling with reading and math. I know for sure. But when she does understand, because there was one point where she was asked a question, she answered the question, kind of, most of the question, and she seemed to understand what was going on, but then she just doesn't really pay attention. She doesn't, participate in the lesson. So it's really interesting, and I think I'll definitely have to plan my lesson around being able to sit there and help her and being able to get her to understand that she has to pay attention in order for her to understand what's going on. But I think, yeah, it should be interesting. So until next week.